the other thing too, like the TV was working. Could someone turn on a damn
Turn on
light?
a fucking light. Yeah, that's what I
God,
thought,
dude,
dude.
turn
Like
on
I'm
a
like
damn light. Like, what is
they
going on?
have electricity,
Turn
obviously.
on all the fucking lights, bro. And welcome back to Check the Candy, everybody. I'm here with my boy Taylor. Taylor, say what up.
What's up?
And I'm John, obviously, bringing you another episode of Check the Candy. Um, just want to let you guys know that we're doing videos all the time here, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on Instagram at Check the Candy. Got some new merch coming out here pretty soon, as you can see. Plenty of logos, logo designs, and other cool, fun designs coming out as well. We'll have that up pretty soon for all you fans out there. So today we're talking the new I don't know what to call it, man. Viral sensation. It's hitting really hard in the horror community right now. Skinamarink.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
uh, it's going pretty hard.
What does that word even mean? Do you know?
I think it's fucking gibberish, dude. Obviously you have kids, I got kids, so I know there's that old song there. There's like a song that I know when I play like music for my son, it's like Skinamarink a dinky ding,
Yeah.
Skinamarink a
Yeah.
doo. And I think that's like I think it's just gibberish, dude. I think it's just a nonsense kind of word, which kind of feels right for this film, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a fucking song. I'm not entirely sure, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about Skinamarink and
Skinamarink.
Skinnamarink-a-deek. So I'm gonna read a little bit about it real quick.
Yeah.
Two children wake up in the middle of the night to find their father missing. Okay?
Ooh,
Their father's missing.
spooky.
And all of the windows and doors have vanished within their home. So what now? What's gonna happen? So from here on out, we're just gonna straight up talk about Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo.
Skinamarink-a-doo. See, yeah, you know it.
Um,
Yeah, dude. Can I go first? Is that cool?
oh,
Man, this movie was boring as fuck, dude. Holy shit.
oh God.
I now you know I you know I had messaged you about this and said I'm pumped about this movie.
Mhm.
I was like, I don't even know what the fuck it is. There was a Twitter buzz about it, and I was like, this sounds crazy because I'm a big fan of found footage and that kind of stuff. And this was kind of like this, very artsy film that was coming out that was very different from anything else that's come out. Um, so I was really interested. The trailer had me hooked. It didn't show anything. It was just very, obviously like corners of the house, and then it had just this deep voice in it. And I was like, man, this looks fucking interesting. This is something different that I've never really seen before here. This could start kind of a new age here of found footage, kind of bring that style back. Um, and I watched it and I was pretty let down, man. I don't even really know. I mean, I understand some of the symbolisms and the metaphors and stuff like that, but overall, man, I mean, an hour, 100 minutes of basically showing hallways and like corners of doors and like you know me, dude, I'm a pretty slow, like I like slow burn movies. I do. I like heavy dialogue movies. I like slow burns when they pay off in the end. I don't know what this was, dude. This was maybe I
Okay.
did- maybe I didn't understand it, but it was out of my league, bro.
So, to every film director, every person who's writing a film, everybody who's doing anything, I have to give them credit now, just simply because of John right here. John
Yeah.
has shown me the light um, when it comes to making a movie, whether it be you know shit or fucking fantastic. It's hard work. you know?
Definitely, definitely.
And the amount of work that goes into to creating these things is insane. But as far as this one goes, I feel like it was like a real estate sale for Satan.
Yeah, seriously,
Like
it was very, very odd.
it was 100 it was 100 or it was an hour and fucking 30 minutes of real estate, honestly.
Yeah,
Like, and then 10 minutes of fucking talking. It
yeah.
was terrible. Like,
Dude, you're being forgiving with 10 minutes of talking, dude, because there is almost nothing. And when there is talking, you can't hear
you
it
can't
anyway.
hear
So
it.
they
Yeah.
subtitled it, which I understand, they're trying to, it's a very artsy film. It is. But I mean, at some point, something's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah. So,
I was 20 minutes in the movie, and I'm like,
okay.
okay, something's gonna happen.
Okay, right there. So the other day when I told you, I said, dude, we got to review this movie. I hadn't even fucking seen it yet. Today I watched it with you. Okay,
Yeah.
that was that. Like I went 20 minutes into that fucking bitch and I turned it off
Hmm.
because what I did was I watched 20 minutes of it and I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like this is awful right now because I'm
Yeah.
sitting here looking at corners of fucking walls and doors. Like it's terrible, and the fucking light will flick on every now and then and shut off.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And I I told my wife, I was like, look, we gotta skip forward just a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit further. So I went about 15 minutes into it. And while I was scrolling, like it'll show you how far,
Right.
and you're seeing the same clips of like fucking corners and doors
Yeah.
through
Crazy.
the entire fucking thing. And then I ended up fast forwarding it to the end of it. I didn't watch it because I thought my wife was over it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it by myself. But
Right.
um, dude, it like
It's less of a movie and more of an experience, right? I guess.
I guess I don't
I mean,
even know.
I'm not saying it's a great experience, but this doesn't seem like a movie to me. It felt more like a ride, like if you were to like go on a VR video game and like just sit in this room and like did did something
Yeah,
happen? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It
yeah.
was more of an experience than a movie, and it was. I understand. I mean, at one point, like back to what you said, Taylor, at one point, like first of all, it was like hurting my eyes. I was like, okay, there's so many flashing lights and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, if I doze off, like I'm gonna miss something, right? That's
Yep.
how it felt.
But you
Like
didn't. You didn't
at one
miss
point I
shit.
dozed off. I'm not even kidding you. I dozed off for like 50 seconds probably. And I woke, I was like, huh, huh. And I looked at the screen and it was the same damn corner of a door than when it started. And I'm
And
like,
nothing.
what the
But
fuck?
the thing is, the one thing you did miss was the corner of the door. You missed it zooming in
Yeah.
closer
And
to the door.
getting more fuzzy and more fuzzy as it did so. Yeah, it was, dude. I'm I am I am very open-minded when it comes to storytelling, but because I think storytelling is so important, not only just in movies but in life in general. I think it's what how society was built. I think we've been telling stories since the dawn of time. So I'm very open-minded when it comes to telling stories. This didn't feel like there was a story.
No,
Now,
like, and honestly, it it felt like a presence that
yeah.
was there, but there was absolutely no fucking story. Like I think they did a good job on making it feel like, because this didn't even feel like a found footage film to me. Like
No.
this was in its own fucking genre, dude. Like it was fucking weird. Like
Yeah, what are they calling it? Analog horror. And I know there's been stuff like it, but not to this like low extent. So like it's all about the sound or the lack thereof at some point at
yeah.
most points, you know what I mean? And then the way it looks visually, it's made to,
Well, it's almost like filmed in third person too, kind of, like you
oh,
see through the boy's eyes, when he's like look under the bed.
it's
And
filmed in
like,
all of them. It's like first person, third
yeah, it's
person, then
weird.
just cameras that are maybe in the house, you know, they're all over the place with it. And it's very it's I will say it's most of the comments that I saw on this movie was that it's really unnerving. and it is, but not like not it, in my opinion, not in a good way. It wasn't
Mm.
like, oh, this is making me really uncomfortable to like see what happens next. It was more like, this is like making me like I have a headache because of what I'm trying to
Yes.
look for things on screen.
It's almost like looking through 3D glasses, you know, like
Yeah,
whenever you're watching a 3D movie, like the old time ones, not the fucking new
right.
ones they have now, but like the red and blue ones. You're looking through it, it's kind of giving you a headache. You're like, it's
Yeah,
annoying.
it is. And it's, I just didn't see, and I understand some of the symbolism of the movie, like, and they left a lot, obviously, it's open interpretation, right? And that can be a good and bad thing. Like, there was just points where I'm like, okay, well, this kid obviously, right? He falls down the stairs at one point. Like, you don't see it, but you hear the dad on the phone be like, oh, Kevin fell down the stairs. He only had to get
Mhm.
stitches. It wasn't too bad. So you're like, okay, well, is this kid like having a nightmare? Is he in a coma? Is he dead? I'm not really sure what metaphor we're going for here as far as, because there was a lot of things I brought out of it. I'm like, okay, I tried to piece it together in my head and I'm like, okay, is this a metaphor for like abuse? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He sees his dad, then his dads are gone, and then obviously the doors and windows are disappearing. So is that a metaphor for, okay, the kids were abused, and you know the the metaphors of the doors and windows disappearing are like, okay, well, you can't escape something like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that would kind of make sense when at one point it says like 572 days. It gives you that timestamp. You're like, okay, I understand. Maybe it's 572 days since they were abused, and you understand that that type of trauma never leaves you. You're still dealing with it. Could it have been that? Are you watching it at face value where like there is some sort of entity in the house and it's fucking with them? Are they saying that Kevin's dead and he's like in trying to interact with his family and they can't hear him, but he can hear them around the house. He doesn't know he's dead, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
572 days since he died. Is he in a coma where he's kind of having these hallucinations and he can hear his family around him? And then the last one, which was intriguing, was did his parents get divorced? Because I kind of brought myself to the idea of like something like that would turn like a kid's world upside down.
Yeah. Because
And that's why
what?
you see him walking on the roof, the ceiling and stuff. So that was kind of a metaphor for that would turn a kid's world. But then again, why would you make such a crazy fucking movie for for just parents getting divorced? Something people deal with every day.
Yeah. What? So what was the other brother's name?
Well, there was the daughter and the son, so brother and sister. So it was Kevin and Kaylee.
Oh, I thought it was two boys.
No, I don't blame you because you don't. It's not like you see them very often.
Oh,
uh,
so Kaylee. Okay, so I was
Kaylee's
wondering.
got the
Oh
long
fuck.
hair, and she's the one that she's missing a face and eyes. Which, when you
Yes.
talk about like, that's kind of intriguing when you're talking about nightmares. If Kevin's having a nightmare because you never see anybody's face, and like in dreams and stuff, you kind of put together faces, but you never really
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. 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 And
People
that's
don't
why it's
look the
like I
same.
took her mouth and all that shit. Like
Yeah.
I get you. I get you. I get you. Okay. So okay. I thought there was two fucking boys the entire time. I thought there were two.
Dude, you see her face and it doesn't have any facial features. So I don't blame you for thinking that maybe and it's not like you can hear them all the time. You know what I mean? Like it could have been, but it's
Yeah.
supposed to be the, sister and brother. And I just don't know. Sometimes it's nice when you leave it open to interpretation. But I mean, from everything I've read and researched on the movie, I mean, there's, five or six different ways you could have looked at this movie and they all make decent enough sense. Some of the ones I just named to you, and then some other ones where, I do you want to leave it that open where it's like throw me a bone here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what am I
It
watching?
it's too open. There's too
Yeah,
much not going on that you don't fucking know.
right.
Like I don't understand. Like I get it. Like when I started watching, I'm just like the fucking the first night I started watching the way I think the window vanished first and the toilet and all that stuff. And I'm just like I'm like not digging this. Like this is not that type of film. I don't understand what's going on. So
Right.
I was very like just distraught about the whole thing. I'm like, this is not good. Like, this is not a good fucking film, and it's very hard for me to sit through. So, honestly, whenever I messaged you, I was like, we gotta do this. I was gonna go into it being like, this is a fucking load of dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, um, it's 130 hours or an hour and 30 minutes of fucking just bullshit, and then 10 minutes of talking. That's all I was gonna say. But like, um, after watching it again, there was the movie sucks,
Yeah.
but
I
there were a
agree.
few there were a few
I
parts in
agree.
it. There
That's
were a few
that's what
parts
I'm
in it.
clipping. That's what I'm clipping right here for this episode. The movie
Good, good.
sucks.
Um, but there were a few parts in it, man, that were just like okay, like it was like it made the fucking film to me.
Yeah.
Um, like especially when the Toy Story uh phone,
Dude, I was gonna say that like it is out of everything I thought about this movie, it is good that telephone car still is finding work in movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. It's getting a job,
Yeah,
wherever it
yeah,
may
he's
be.
he's he's still out there. He's grinding. It's nice to see.
But no, him, you can see his fucking eyes in the dark, and then all of a sudden he's like there, and it's like rings and looks at you. Like I like that. It was very loud. My son was in the bed with me watching. He's like flipped the fuck out because he was
Yeah,
like playing with something, didn't realize it. Because you have to turn this. I agree with Adam on this. Adam said, "Look, you got to," which is I blame the movies.
yeah,
Um, you've got to watch this movie completely in the dark with the sound turned up. I do agree with that because
yeah.
otherwise, Chris, another friend of ours who does a lot of this with us, he said that he went and watched in theaters. I guess if everybody was quiet in the theater, because a theater's pretty loud,
Yeah.
but I still feel like that was almost too boring of a movie, man. I feel like people would be get up and walking or talking,
I
like
bet a lot of people were walking out of that dude being like, what did I
yeah,
just pay for, to be honest? Because there is, yeah, no matter what, like I said, I'm open-minded to storytelling. It's super important to me. And there just wasn't enough there. Like there also is that entertainment value to movies. That's why it's there. It is the entertainment business as much as it is an art. There is an entertainment side to it. And I mean, I just don't know if that movie should have been in theaters. You know what I mean? I'm
oh
sure whoever
no,
was selling it was saying we have to get in this in theaters because that's the way it needs to be watched. But I would have been bored as fuck in the theater, man. And I don't walk out of movies. I really don't. I know you've walked out of a few. I don't walk out of movies, and I think there would have been a chance that I walked out because I think my head would have just fucking killed.
oh I would have walked out immediately, or I would have fucking napped the entire time.
Right, you were just falling asleep. But like
Yeah.
there just wasn't enough. Like a lot of movies, and this is kind of its own category, and I understand that, but a lot of movies, even if it is a slow burn and there's a good payoff at the end, at least there's that. And then throughout the movie, there's character development and there's other things that are going on, subplots that are kind of bringing the movie together. And even if you don't love it, you're still like, all right, well, it was a movie, right? Like I watched it and I
Mhm.
just didn't like it. This one was like, I just don't know. And I say this, I'm saying this in the nicest way possible because, like you said, I know how hard it is to make a movie, and I've only made, I'm working on my second one right now, and it's very low budget, so I understand that it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of work. This guy had $15,000 to do it. He made his movie. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people don't. But and I mean this in all seriousness, and I'm not trying to bag on it. I'm just saying I don't understand why it was like being raved about. I
No,
really, I really don't.
I don't either. And I have a like not a journal, but I fucking write down movies that I have watched. And I started in 2023. And this, the one thing I did right about this was that I had zero clue at any point in time what the fuck was happening. Like
Yeah.
I don't like. There's just no you. It doesn't give you a damn thing. Like
Right.
you know, I at one point thought it was similar to The Witch. Just because like that, you would hear that the devil speaking, and he
Right.
almost had the same kind of voice. Like
Or it was
it
very
was it,
quiet.
yeah, like it's like I want to play. I want to
Yeah.
play. Like it's like stick this in your eye, like fucking Eminem, Nine Inch
Yeah.
Nails shit. So,
Yeah.
but like I felt maybe like I in my mind I went towards The Witch, but fast forward to 1995.
Right. Right.
So
And
that's
way worse.
and way worse, 10 times worse. Like that, like The Witch is a decent, okay movie. It's a very slow burn,
Right.
but it's a decent movie. Like at the end of it, you're like fucking hell yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this
See the
one,
payoff, that's the difference. The payoff in The Witch is like
yeah,
a fucking masterpiece.
yeah,
And then the most of the movie is kind of like a day in the life of like Puritans back in the 1600s, right?
yeah,
But then you get to the end, it's that big payoff. That's why I fucking
yeah.
love that movie. It's like a masterpiece to me. But this movie felt like almost like the first cut of like Paranormal Activity.
Yes, I agree with that. Like
You
it
know what
was
I
a
mean? And
very paranormal.
I don't even like Paranormal Activity that
I
much.
hate I hate paranormal.
Like
I like
I think it's cool and like I think it's its own thing, but like this movie almost like was like let's take Paranormal Activity but then like just take out all like the good parts and just leave all the weird
yeah, let's just film a
shit.
whole bunch of doors and fucking carpet. Like
Yeah.
that'll make sense, right? People will love
Yeah.
that.
It
It
just got
like
I understand this if this movie was 10 minutes, I understand. And
well
I
that
and I don't even know if I would like it still, but like then I would understand what you were trying to do. But like when you have 100 minutes of this, that is so long to be looking at those types of
dude,
sequences. Like it's
I
insane.
I wrote down in here. I said this is an hour and 40 minutes. I said the most it should be is an hour and 10 minutes, and I said it would still be dragged out.
Yeah,
Like you only need about 20 minutes of this fucking movie. That's it.
seriously.
Like
Absolutely.
there were a few parts that I'm just like, okay, this was good. Like that,
Mhm.
like this is all right. That's okay. This is
Yeah.
fine. But like, no joke, man. Like a fucking hour and
It's a full
fucking
movie, dude. It's a full feature length film. And I mean,
yes. And it's
and
doors.
yeah,
It's real estate, bro. You
yeah.
fucking real estate.
And it's now the director and the writer of this movie is a short this is his debut feature length film. That's what he specializes in. He's always done short films. So that's what it kind of felt like. And I'm not knocking him because he has a movie out right now that people are fucking raving about. Whether you like it or not, it's successful, right? So
Yeah.
he did his job. He told his story. That's all that matters. So kudos to him. Like he did the right thing. But like it does feel like he took his short story
And drew it out. Like
and
like
just
it's
said,
it's
"Woo," you know what I mean? And let's just do a bunch of that because I'm not sure if he knows like
and like
what to
what
do with
happened?
a full
Like
length.
what happened though? Like
Dude, I
what
have no idea.
happened?
I have no idea.
Like only thing I know that happened was that I'm just glad I didn't give that bitch's name my name. At the end of
Yeah,
it,
right,
like
exactly.
I started talking to her at the end, and she asked me again. I wasn't going to say it. Like I just don't know. I don't know. Like, is this real? Like, are other people getting this fucking same message at the end of this movie? Like, it's
Right.
such a fucked up. Like, I don't know if I like it, and I don't know if I hated it.
And
But I
even
think
if you would have thrown me a bone of like seeing something, seeing this entity more, like I know at the end you kind of get that fuzzy
face,
face. But at the
yeah,
same time, like when I was watching it, I honestly thought it was just the reflection of the kid's face in the TV. That's what I thought it was. Like I didn't even think it was
because
anything different.
they fucking took that grimy feel, man. They could have dialed that back 50% and been golden.
Definitely.
Like
Especially
they
when they
they did,
zoomed in on shit. It was just like too
yeah,
much, dude. I was
man.
like, man, my head is fucking killing me.
They did that way, like I understand a dark film, but whenever you put grime and grittiness over that dark,
Yeah.
you can't put it at 100, bro. You got to
No.
dial that shit back.
You
Like
gotta dial that shit
that's
way
it.
back, dude.
That's insane, man. Like that was the biggest part for me is just because you couldn't see fucking shit, and I understand the darkness, but like give us darkness, don't give us crime. Like
Right.
it was just too much all the way around, and there was no fucking story. Like that fucking movie was just
It's a letdown a little bit.
dumb.
And the other thing too, like the TV was working. Could someone turn on a damn
Turn
light?
on a fucking light. Yeah, that's what I
God,
thought,
dude,
dude.
turn
Like
on
I'm
a
like
damn light. Like, what is
they
going
have
on?
electricity,
Turn
obviously.
on all the fucking lights, bro. Turn them all on. Like, what are you
It's
doing?
fucking
Like,
ridiculous.
I
They're
get the
fucking
kids.
using a flashlight. Click,
Yeah, I'm like,
click.
and I understand when you get into a regular horror movie that like that's why they do those scenes where like the killer cuts the lights out, or like you try to turn on a lamp and it doesn't work. But like you didn't have any of that because there was like no story. There really wasn't even any, even this whole movie gives you a sense of like dread. Like there's no conflict really,
No.
besides we don't know where our dad is.
Yeah, like what
But then
what
they don't
fucking come
really
over.
then they don't really give a shit half the time. They're just like, "Where's dad?" And then they're just like, "Oh, fuck it, let's listen to this thing upstairs." Like,
I don't want to talk about mom. Like what? Like mom was a big fucking part, I guess, right? Like who was that bitch?
yeah, yeah. And like that's where like the divorce thing might come into play, or maybe there was a murder because you see that one scene where they're all like it's upside down, but the blood keeps splattering, and then it goes away and then it splatters again.
Yeah, at the end, right?
And you're kind of like, oh, there might be in like a time loop type thing. So maybe he is dead, everybody's dead, and there was murders that happened. Like, but there was not enough, there was no plot or anything to explain that. So I thought this could have been a cool movie if you added more of that stuff where like there was more conflict, like and more strategy almost, like where the kids are being like, okay, dad's not here, and the doors are missing. Well, let's like go pound on some walls or something to like see why the doors are gone. Like, let's have a little panic almost, and like there's
Yeah.
none of that.
And he called the cops at the end of it, and they like nothing fucking shows of that shit. It was almost like it zooms back to this goddamn house in the middle of the fucking galaxy. It looks like
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a time
that,
loop.
like nothing. It's like I guess I get where you're coming from. Maybe that is where the director was going. Is that it's just this kid's fucked up personality or whatever's happening to
Or
him.
he's dead, or he's in a coma, or like, because that is a big thing with paranormal, right? Like they say you die, and then where you die is that's your whole universe now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, so, they kind of do that in like Beetlejuice, where like
yeah.
they can't leave their house, you know what I mean? So it's like the only
Oh,
thing in the
ooh,
galaxy that matters.
maybe it's a fucked up Beetlejuice.
It could
That's
be. I do.
that.
But that's literally what I read. Like I had to look that up to even get that part of it. But like, who knows? Like, I mean, but there's still not enough there's not enough like situations where the kids are trying to maybe they're not even like with each other half the time too. Like
No, they're
the only
not.
parts I really liked, well, when they did make the 911 call, I was like, okay, like this might be going somewhere now.
Yeah,
Then nothing. So that kind of almost rules out the fact that he's dead, right? Because
mhm.
he called the cops and they heard him. That kind of takes it out that he's in a coma. It kind of only leaves up like the nightmare thing, I guess, because he actually spoke to the police. But
And
the other
he's
parts,
bleeding because he stabbed his eye, right? Like that's
yeah,
that was the only blood in the movie.
right.
But what was all over the door? Was that
His blood.
his blood from his eye?
I
Like
think so. Ah, fucking, I don't know, I guess. And then at the end, the blood splatter on like the rug in the corner of the wall that he saw that you could, there's like, okay, there was someone got hurt in the house at some point. I don't know when. The only part I really thought was like creepy and that I really liked that I thought they should have built off was when the things like look under the bed.
dude, I was just thinking that right
I
there because
was
that's
like,
the
oh
best part of the whole thing.
wow. I was like, come on, let's go. And then she looks up and the her mom's on the other side of the bed. And I'm like, okay, this could be terrifying. Something's going to happen. Nothing happens.
Nothing
I
happened.
was
Nothing.
like,
It showed a fucking corner of a fucking closet for a minute.
yeah, I
Like
was
it
like,
was
come on, man.
ridiculous.
There were some things that I really liked, and then there was just a letdown again.
Like it
But
was
they,
an hour, guys. Listen. It was an hour and 30 minutes of fucking real estate. It
yeah,
was Satan's fucking real estate sale. He
it
loved
was
that shit.
it was stairs. There were corners of doors.
Man, it was like a fucking light upside down, a light right side up. Like it was just and toys. I mean, like I just don't
A lot of
like
toys.
I
So many
did like
toys.
I did like how the toys were on that wall because my wife was like, I really like that wall. You know,
Yeah.
the triangle wall.
Yeah, like the wood paneling or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were all stuck to that wall, and I was like, oh, this is nice. That's a good like because finally, after 53 minutes of watching it,
Something.
something happened.
Right.
And then it's stuck on the wall, and you're just like, okay, all right,
And
I see.
was that because of like a time loop, like gravity, or like something's pulling something somewhere, and they're in this weird? I don't even know. Like, why was that even happening? Or like,
I know, I
and the thing
know.
was just like, I want to play, and then it was 10 minutes of Legos on the ground being like pulled away a little bit here and there, and
And shuffled. Like all you heard was a bunch of fucking
yeah, I'm
shuffling.
like, okay,
And then
well, are they? Can you at least let me know if they're playing? Like, I don't even
I'm
know what's
pretty
going on.
sure I'm pretty sure during that time, whenever the devil was talking to Kevin, I'm pretty sure I heard him shit on himself. Like he literally sounded like he was like, I want to
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
like I
Seriously,
don't know what the fuck happened, but he shit on himself.
so weird, man. Then he's like talking on the phone, right, to the police, and they're like, "You need to stay on the phone with us, okay, sweetheart?" And then the phone just drops. I'm like, "This fucking, come
Yeah,
on,
like
man."
and then honestly, I don't even remember what happened after that.
Then it's just a couple doors, couple different
Yeah,
angles of
he
doors.
shows the house
Yeah,
like in the
definitely showed the house.
galaxy, and then
Definitely showed some doors.
at
Showed a
the end of
few.
it, guys, like it literally showed another door,
Yeah,
like another door. I
right.
don't know what happened.
And even when they did the
Like,
timestamp where it was like 572 days and it showed like the pile of toys, then it just kept
mhm.
getting
Yeah, the fucking wait
further
down the
away. I'm like,
hallway,
okay, what's going on here?
nothing.
I don't know. Maybe we're just too dumb, dude. Who knows?
I mean, if somebody's that
Because
fucking smart
there's a
to
lot of people,
understand that,
dude. There's gonna be a lot of people that are like, you just don't get it, you know?
like, how the fuck do you get that? Like, there's no getting that. Like,
Like there's definitely people with their cigarette holders that have a cigarette in it, and they
oh
have,
yeah, you
you know
put
what I
yellow in
mean?
it.
And they have an IPA, and they're like, you just don't get it. You know, it was art. Like, well,
They
I
got a
didn't see the
top
art in
hat
it.
they have a
I
top
didn't.
hat or a fedora,
Yeah,
and they're just sitting there with
exactly.
their legs crossed, like
You don't get it. Yeah,
reading a book.
you just don't get it. And like, imagine buying the, you know, what we should do, which would be hilarious, is just make a fake screenplay for Skinamarink, and it would just be one page of dialogue, and that's it.
And but yes, then we make it a musical.
Oh, it'd be so funny, dude. Just like
Yeah,
show corner of door, show other corner of door, show
and then
mom
we
on bed, show the
Skinamarink
wall.
dink a dink,
Yeah,
Skinamarink
just
doo.
put that in, and then just have be like show Toy Story car, telephone car, and then boom, big fucking loud noise, more doors. Like,
You got to give it. You got two big loud noises. That was
yeah,
it.
that was
You
it.
got the one where it shows, I guess, Kaylee with the fucking no mouth,
Yeah,
and then you got the loud noise with the fucking Toy Story phone.
yeah,
That was
that was
it.
it.
Like
Done.
those were the only two parts that were just like oh shit. But
Like,
they were
oh, okay.
so they were so oh shit that it did make me jump.
No,
Like
it was just
I
like
wasn't expecting it because I was turned up trying to fucking listen
right,
because you can't hear
and it
shit.
was just like obnoxious. You know,
Yeah,
it wasn't like, oh, that fucking got me. Like a good jump scare will like set you back, and you're kind of like frozen for a second. Like it was none of that. It was just like, oh, that was loud as fuck.
it's just fucking annoying.
So
That
it was,
that
I don't know.
also okay. So overall, what do you rate this movie, John? 1 out of 10.
Overall, I don't think we both liked this movie. So we'll start there. Um, out of 10, oh man, I'll give it a 4.5 just for like being its own genre almost, I guess. I'm sure there's
Yeah, and
other movies like this out there, but like I can't really compare it to anything, so I give it some credit for that. But then the things I feel like are closest to, like Paranormal Activity, it just doesn't do the job. And I know it's a completely different movie. It might not even be meaning to be paranormal, but yeah, 4.5 probably.
I feel like it's like a mix between paranormal and then like demonic, like almost like the witch,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then like supernatural, I guess is paranormal,
Right.
but like I don't know, man. Like I feel that this movie was definitely a thing of its own, and I hope to not see anymore. Like, like I don't like if there are any more that come out like this, there is no hope for fucking horror at
Right,
all. Like
right,
this movie was garbage. I respect what the person did who wrote it and the people
right.
who filmed it and the people who acted. Like I respect everything that went into the film, but
Mhm.
as far as the film goes, homie, should have kept it as a fucking short film.
Yeah,
Like
I agree. I think it should have been like 20 minutes and it would have been like way more interesting.
yeah, I
Um,
think you could have definitely got some hype off that shit if you like
yeah.
publicized. I think I'm saying that right. Uh, if you would have publicized that right, you could have you could have gotten somewhere with 20 minutes instead of an hour and fucking 40.
Not sure if
So
publicized is a word, people, but either is Skinamarink, so we're okay. Um,
Skinamarink, a dink,
yeah,
guys.
but I agree, and I think that maybe you can build off this type of movie and have more plot to it and stuff. So maybe there's hope for something like that. Um, but yeah, the movie just didn't do it for me. What are you rating it?
Oh man, I would never watch it again.
No, I don't think people who like it would watch it again. It's like that's why I said it doesn't
If
feel
you
like a
say you
movie.
want to watch that again,
Yeah, I could see
like
if you really enjoyed it, you'd want to like take someone you know to go see it. But
no,
that's what I mean when like it's more of an experience than a movie. Like even if you really, really like the movie, I don't think you have to watch it again. It doesn't feel like it's not like a comfort thing. It's not like something you would, get some popcorn for. I mean,
I
it just
think
feels like you would
no.
watch it once and be like, okay, I liked it or I didn't like it, move on.
Yes, I think if I had somebody that I knew who would sit through a movie, regardless of what it is,
Right.
and they enjoyed a film in its entirety, I would say, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell that I would ever tell anybody that hasn't seen this to watch it. There's just no fucking way. Like this movie is not. Um, this is for almost and I'm I don't call us experienced horror, but like we've
Right.
been into horror for a long time. Like if say you got some like fucking person who doesn't that they don't watch they watch rom-coms, they watch comedies, they fucking action here and there, and you're like, hey, watch Skinamarink. Dude, they'll never watch horror again. Like
Definitely not.
that movie,
They might not watch movies again, bro.
dude, that movie was fucking dog shit. But like I get it. Like I hate to be me, but I get it. Like
Right.
I think it could have been so well done, but it
Right.
wasn't. It was
Right.
just man, like there's no fucking way in hell. So no, I'm gonna go ahead and give it I'm gonna go ahead and give it a fucking two, man. That's the
Too.
lowest I've ever given a movie. 2023,
Right.
lowest I've given it. Um,
Right.
just simply because it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But
All
I
right, guys.
respect the person.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I respect anybody who can make a movie. It's fucking tough. And maybe he was hindered because he did it. He did crowdfunding. He got 15,000. Maybe there was some other shit he wanted to do. I don't know, but
Well, he should have fucking cut the door scenes down a little bit and
yeah,
actually fucking done it.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, so that's our review of Skinamarink. I think we're on the same page. 4.5 for me,
Skinamarink, ka-tink, ka-tink.
and two for Taylor. And
Skinamarink,
not
ka-too.
very good, but we will we will see you guys next time. Remember, like and subscribe to the channel. Got new merch coming out, plenty of more content coming out. We appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hey, yo.